I kicked off my shoes as soon as we stepped into Marcus's apartment. The smell of roasted chicken hit me immediately, and I couldn't help but grin. "Smells amazing, Marcus. You actually cooked." Marcus leaned against the counter, a smirk on his face. "I didn't burn the kitchen this time, so yes. Consider it a miracle." Olivia laughed, tugging my hand as we walked toward the living room. "He's been bragging about this all week. I'm curious if it's actually edible." I chuckled, feeling a warmth spread in my chest. I loved evenings like this, small gatherings with family and Olivia by my side. Everything felt simple, perfect. I glanced at her. She was smiling, her eyes sparkling as if she knew a secret joke. "Sit here," Marcus gestured to the sofa. "Food's almost ready. Liam, grab some drinks." I raised an eyebrow. "Wait, Liam's here already." "Yeah," he insisted on helping. He even offered to do the dishes afterward, Marcus replied, his tone teasing. Olivia nudged me gently. "See? Everyone's pitching in. Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, doesn't it?" I laughed. "Yeah, it does. I'm just glad I'm not doing all the work." Marcus joined in, plopping down beside me. "Don't look so smug. You know I could outcook you any day." "I highly doubt that," I said, smirking. "Last time you made spaghetti, I nearly called the fire department." Olivia giggled, leaning her head on my shoulder. "You two are ridiculous." The conversation flowed effortlessly, with laughter bouncing around the room. I felt lucky, really lucky. I glanced at Marcus occasionally, noticing the way he subtly looked at Olivia when he thought I wasn't paying attention. I shook my head, dismissing the thought. "I'm just imagining things," I told myself. Marcus raised his glass. "To family, friends, and not burning dinner." "To that," I echoed, clinking my glass with his. Olivia smiled warmly. "To us." The food arrived, and we ate while swapping stories. I kept stealing glances at Olivia, enjoying the way she animatedly recounted a mishap at work. "I can't believe your boss actually said that," she laughed, shaking her head. I leaned closer. "Sounds like he deserved a reality check." Marcus smirked, adding, "Maybe you should have told him yourself. Show him who's boss." "I'll leave the bossing to Olivia," I said with a grin. Olivia nudged me. "You're lucky I'm in a good mood tonight." Hours passed, and the gathering shifted into light teasing and playful arguments over board games. Marcus was unusually competitive, and I found myself laughing more than usual. Yet, every time I caught him exchanging a glance with Olivia, a small, uneasy feeling knotted in my stomach. I pushed it aside, forcing a smile. "I'm being paranoid. It's fine. Everyone's having fun." Later, as the night wound down, Olivia rested her head against me. "I love evenings like this," she whispered softly. "Me too," I replied, brushing her hair behind her ear. My heart swelled with contentment, even as that tiny knot of doubt lingered. Marcus stood, stretching. "I think that's enough games for one night. You guys should head home before it gets too late." I nodded, feeling grateful for the warmth around me, yet unable to shake the faint tension I couldn't quite name. Everything seemed perfect, but my instincts whispered caution, a subtle hint that the night wasn't entirely what it seemed. I glanced at Olivia again, her smile bright, her hand still in mine, and I forced another smile. "Yeah, perfect evening," I said quietly, though somewhere in the back of my mind, a shadow of unease stirred. I was helping Marcus pack his luggage for the weekend when I noticed something strange. "Need a hand with this bag?" I asked, lifting the zipper carefully. Marcus glanced up from folding his shirts. "Sure, just don't make a mess. I know you like chaos." I laughed nervously, tugging the zipper open. That's when I saw it. A small, familiar glint among his clothes. My hand froze. "Wait, is this?" Marcus raised an eyebrow. "What is it?" I pulled out a delicate gold ring, the one Olivia always wore on her right hand. My chest tightened. "This is Olivia's ring, isn't it?" Marcus's face changed, just slightly. I don't know what you mean." I stared at him. "Don't know what I mean?" "Marcus, this is Olivia's ring. How did it end up in your bag?" He swallowed and ran a hand through his hair. I can explain." I felt my stomach drop. "Explain what? Why would you even have this? Are you joking?" "No, I'm not joking. Look, it's complicated." He avoided my gaze, and that made my heart pound harder. "Just give me a second." I took a step back, trying to calm the sudden storm of thoughts. Could I be misreading this? Maybe he found it somewhere and meant to return it. But the look on his face didn't fit that story. "I need the truth, Marcus." "Now," I said, my voice tight. He hesitated, then finally met my eyes. I promise, nothing happened. I didn't take it from her. I think she left it here accidentally last time she visited, and I just packed it without thinking. I wanted to believe him, but my mind raced. I replayed every moment from the last week, the smiles that lingered too long, the small gestures I thought were innocent. Could I have ignored the signs? I'm not sure I believe that. I muttered, trying to mask my fear with anger. It doesn't make sense. Marcus sighed. I get it. You're upset. I would be too if I found something like this. But I swear it's nothing. I wanted to yell, to demand answers, but instead, I clenched my fists. Fine. I'll think about it. But this stays between us for now. He nodded, relief flashing across his face. Thank you. I didn't want this to get messy. I left the room, gripping the ring tightly in my pocket. My mind was a whirlwind. I kept going over Olivia's words, her laughter, the way she leaned on me. Was it all a lie? Had I been blind this whole time? I tried to shake it off, but every memory twisted into suspicion. I must be imagining things, I whispered to myself. Maybe she forgot it. Maybe Marcus is telling the truth. Yet the knot in my chest wouldn't loosen. I paced the living room, the ring heavy in my hand. I thought about confronting Olivia, but what would I say? How could I ask her without sounding paranoid? I sank onto the couch, rubbing my face. I can't let this go. I have to know the truth. But I also knew I couldn't act impulsively. I'll watch. I'll wait. I'll figure it out without ruining everything. Not yet. The conflict inside me twisted like a knife. My love for Olivia warred with the loyalty I felt toward Marcus. Could I really suspect them both? Could I trust anyone right now? I thought back to our last dinner, the laughter, the smiles. Everything looked different now, filtered through doubt and betrayal. My chest ached with the thought of deception, so close, so personal. I clenched the ring again, staring at it as if it could tell me the answers. I have to be smart. I can't let anger or jealousy take control. I need proof. Observation. Patience. Marcus's voice called from the other room. Hey, are you okay? I forced a calm tone. Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired. Keep packing. I'll help later. Inside, I wasn't fine at all. The seed of suspicion had taken root, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Every laugh, every touch, every glance between Olivia and Marcus replayed in my mind like a film I didn't want to watch. I slipped the ring back into my pocket, feeling its cold weight against my fingers. I made a decision. I wouldn't confront either of them yet. I'd observe, gather proof, and see the truth for myself. The choice was mine, and for the first time in days, I felt a flicker of control amidst the chaos of doubt. I sat across from Liam at our favorite coffee spot, my hands wrapped around the mug as if it could ground me. Something's wrong, I admitted quietly. I found Olivia's ring in Marcus's luggage. Liam raised an eyebrow, leaning back in his chair. Wait, you mean her engagement type ring? I nodded, my chest tightening. Yes, I don't know how it got there. Marcus says it was accidental, but I can't stop thinking about it. He sighed, resting his chin on his hand. You're telling me you trust him after this? I want to trust him. I really do. But I keep remembering things, little moments that now seem strange. Like what? Liam asked, his tone calm but probing. When Olivia laughs at things Marcus says that I wouldn't expect her to laugh at. Or the way Marcus looks at her sometimes, like he knows something I don't. I might be paranoid, but I can't shake it. Liam nodded slowly. I get it. Look, paranoia can make you see patterns that aren't there. But it can also save you from being blind. You need proof before confronting anyone. I rubbed my temples. I keep replaying the last few weeks. Dinner nights, casual touches, private jokes I didn't understand. Maybe I ignored signs because I didn't want to see them. Maybe I'm stupid. You're not stupid, Liam said firmly. You're human. You trust people you love. That's normal. But you need to protect yourself too. I leaned back, letting out a shaky breath. I don't want to believe the worst. I want to think Marcus is my brother, Olivia is my girlfriend, and everything is normal. But now I can't. Liam studied me for a moment. Then don't act yet. Observe, watch, and see if anything else makes sense. Don't jump. Wait for clarity. Your anger can burn bridges you might regret. I nodded slowly, though my gut still churned. I need to see how they act when I'm not around. Maybe I'm misreading everything. Maybe I'm not. Liam leaned forward. Exactly. And write down everything you notice. Details matter. Dates, times, gestures. Don't rely only on memory. Paranoia distorts it. I stared at my mug, thoughts spinning. I thought about last weekend at Marcus's apartment. Olivia had laughed at a joke Marcus made about his work, and I had smiled, assuming it was harmless. Now it felt loaded. Remember when she texted you that afternoon? I said suddenly. She said she was at the grocery store, but Marcus said she was with him. I shrugged it off. Maybe it wasn't important, but now it feels off. Liam nodded. See? You're starting to notice inconsistencies. That's your gut warning you. Don't ignore it. But don't confront anyone yet without knowing the full picture. I sighed. I can't tell if I'm being careful or just paranoid. You're being careful. Paranoia is when you act without reason. Right now, you're observing and questioning. That's smart. Keep it that way. I leaned back, my mind restless. Memories of Olivia and Marcus floated up, the subtle touches, the smiles, the private conversations I wasn't part of. Each one now seemed like a puzzle piece in a picture I didn't want to see. I don't know if I can just wait, I admitted quietly. I keep imagining them laughing at me, knowing something I don't. It hurts. I feel foolish, betrayed, blind. Liam placed a hand on my shoulder. Pain is part of this. Feeling blind is part of this. But you'll gain clarity. You have to endure the discomfort until you see the truth. Otherwise, you risk making a mistake that hurts you more than them. I nodded again, swallowing hard. Okay. Observe. Document. Wait. Don't confront yet. I can do that. Good, Liam said. You'll thank yourself later. Now, get home and don't overthink tonight. Sleep clears the mind. I left the coffee shop with a restless energy I couldn't shake. Every laugh, every glance, every casual comment replayed in my mind. Was I overthinking? Or were these breadcrumbs leading me to a truth I didn't want to face? I checked my phone, imagining Olivia's texts, Marcus's messages, the subtle signs I'd ignored. My chest ached with a mixture of suspicion and hurt. I clenched my fists, vowing to be patient, to gather proof, to understand what was happening before I did anything reckless. The city felt different on my walk home. Shadows seemed sharper, voices more pointed, and every familiar place felt like a stage where secrets hid in plain sight. I realized the quiet moments between laughter and conversation might carry hidden meanings. I stopped in front of my apartment building, taking a deep breath. I'll watch. I'll wait. I'll see the truth before I act. I won't let my emotions control me yet. My reflection in the glass door stared back, a mixture of pain and determination. I felt fragile but sharp, hurt but vigilant. The first step toward justice was understanding, and I would take it, no matter how long it took. I paced in my apartment, my phone clutched tightly in my hand. My thumb hovered over Olivia's name. I have to do this, I whispered to myself. My chest felt tight, my stomach twisted, but I needed answers. When she arrived, I let her in without a word. She smiled, but I didn't return it. Olivia, we need to talk, I said, my voice shaking more than I wanted. Her smile faltered slightly. Okay, what's wrong? I put the ring on the table between us, watching her eyes widen. Explain this. How did your ring end up in Marcus's luggage? She shifted uncomfortably, her fingers fidgeting with the hem of her shirt. I can explain. It's not what you think. Not what I think. I leaned forward, my fists clenching. Olivia, it's your ring. Packed in his bag. Don't lie to me. Just tell me the truth. She looked down, biting her lip. I didn't mean for it to happen. I left it there when I visited last week. I wasn't paying attention. I swear, nothing happened between us. I felt my chest tighten, but I couldn't stop the questions. Then why does it feel like you two are hiding something? Those glances, the jokes, the way you smile at him differently than you do at me. She looked up, her eyes glistening. I don't know. Maybe I was just happy to see him. He's your brother. It's complicated, but it meant nothing. I never intended to hurt you. I shook my head. It's complicated? Olivia, this is my life, my trust you're playing with. It doesn't feel complicated. It feels like betrayal. Marcus appeared in the doorway, his expression unreadable. What's going on here? He asked casually, though I noticed the tension in his jaw. I turned toward him, anger rising. Don't play innocent, Marcus. You had Olivia's ring in your bag. How do you explain that? He ran a hand through his hair. I told you, I didn't mean anything by it. I packed it without realizing. It wasn't intentional. I stared at him, disbelief and rage mingling together. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I won't notice everything else? The looks, the little jokes, the way you act when I'm not paying attention. Marcus's eyes narrowed slightly, a flash of defensiveness in his tone. You're overreacting. You've got to calm down. Nothing serious happened. I felt my knees weaken, my chest aching. Overreacting? I found her ring, Marcus. My girlfriend's ring. In your bag. That's not overreacting. That's being blind if you think I won't see it. Olivia reached for my hand, but I pulled back sharply. Don't touch me. Not now. I need the truth, and I need it straight. I can't handle excuses or justifications anymore. Her voice quivered. I care about you. I would never hurt you intentionally. Please believe me. I shook my head violently. Believing you feels impossible right now. Every memory, every laugh, every private conversation I thought was innocent, it all feels like a lie. Marcus stepped closer. Look, I'm sorry you feel this way. I didn't think about how it would look. But I promise you, nothing happened. I respect you and your relationship. I stared at both of them, my trust crumbling. I don't know if I can believe either of you anymore. I feel like I'm standing in the middle of a lie I can't escape. Olivia's eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean for this to happen. I never wanted to hurt you. I don't know what I wanted either, I admitted, my voice breaking. I thought I could trust you. I thought Marcus was my brother. I thought my life was simple, predictable. But now, I feel like everything I believed in has been ripped away. Marcus's tone softened slightly. You're letting anger blind you. I didn't betray you. I never crossed any line. I laughed bitterly, a sound I didn't recognize. Crossed a line? How do I know what counts as a line anymore? How do I know anything? I feel like I've been blind for weeks, and I don't even know who I can trust. Olivia whispered, almost inaudibly, I'm sorry. I looked at her, my chest heavy, my mind racing. Sorry isn't enough. Not this time. I need space to think. I need to figure out what I do with this. I need to decide if I can forgive, if I can move on, or if I need to take action in a different way. She nodded slowly, tears streaming down her face. Marcus stayed silent, his jaw tight. I turned away, my heart shattered, my trust destroyed, and a dark resolve forming in my mind. I need time, I said finally. Time to decide who I am, who I trust, and how I handle this. Don't try to convince me right now. I need space. I walked to my room, leaving them in the living room. The door closed behind me, the sound final. I sat on the edge of my bed, the weight of betrayal pressing down on me. My emotions were raw, my thoughts a storm. But beneath the hurt, a determination began to grow. I would decide my path carefully. I would find justice or redemption, but I would not let this destroy me. I stared at the ceiling, my mind spinning. I was emotionally shattered, but a seed of resolve had been planted. The confrontation had ended, but my journey was just beginning. I sat alone in my apartment, the silence pressing down on me. My phone buzzed, a message from Liam. Hey, you okay? I stared at it for a long time before typing back. Not really. He called almost immediately. Talk to me. What's going on? I confronted Olivia. I said quietly, my voice trembling. And Marcus? It didn't go well. Nothing went well. I figured as much, Liam said softly. Do you want to talk about it? I don't know where to start, I admitted. I feel everything. Anger, hurt, disbelief. I can't stop replaying moments in my head, wondering if I ignored signs. I trusted them, Liam. I trusted them both. You're allowed to feel that way, he said firmly. It's natural. Betrayal hits hard, especially when it's someone close. I keep thinking about last week, I whispered. Olivia laughing at Marcus's jokes, those looks he gave her when he thought I wasn't paying attention. I ignored it because I didn't want to see it. Now it all feels like proof. You're not imagining it. But don't let it consume you. Focus on what you know for sure. I found her ring in his bag, I said, the words bitter. That's not imagination. That's reality. But everything else maybe I'm overthinking. I don't know anymore. Liam stayed silent for a moment. Reality is enough to be upset. You don't need every detail to justify your feelings. Let yourself feel it, but don't let it control you entirely. I rubbed my face. They've been trying to justify themselves, you know. Olivia keeps sending small texts, smiling at me in ways that make my chest ache, pretending nothing happened. Marcus acts casual, like I'm overreacting. It's unbearable. You need distance, Liam said. Step back and breathe. Don't let them manipulate your emotions. I want to scream at them. I want to confront every little lie and hidden glance, I admitted. But at the same time I feel powerless. I trusted them. I feel foolish. I keep remembering happier times, dinners, laughs, small jokes, and now they feel tainted, like shadows of betrayal. You're processing, Liam reminded me. Pain can distort memories, but it also teaches you. You'll come out stronger. I let out a shaky breath. I keep picturing them together, the way I imagined they wouldn't be. It hurts more than anything. I feel like I'm stuck, unsure if I should retaliate, confront, or just step back and watch. Then start with yourself, Liam advised. Regain control over your emotions first. Decide what matters to you. Don't act out of anger. That's what keeps people trapped in cycles of hurt. I know, I said, though I doubted it. But every time I think about them, my chest tightens. I hate that I care this much. I hate that my love for Olivia and loyalty to Marcus are hurting me. You're human, Liam said gently. Feelings aren't weaknesses. How you handle them is what matters. Plan your next steps carefully. I leaned back, closing my eyes. Flashbacks hit me suddenly. Olivia resting her head on my shoulder, Marcus teasing me during family dinners, laughter filling the apartment. Each memory now felt heavy, a reminder of what trust can cost. I want justice, I admitted quietly. I want them to face consequences, but not just for revenge. I want clarity, closure, and control over my life. I can't stay like this. Then start small, Liam said. Focus on routines, friends, yourself. Strengthen what's yours. Don't give them the power to define your emotions. I nodded slowly. I'll do that. I'll watch, I'll plan, and I'll regain control. I can't let heartbreak destroy me. You'll get through this, Liam said firmly. I'll be here every step. I hung up and stared out the window, the city lights flickering in the distance. My heart ached, my mind raced, but beneath the pain, a determination formed. I would rebuild my sense of self, reclaim my life, and make choices deliberately, not reactively. I clenched my fists. I'll take my time. I'll gather proof, observe, and decide my next steps carefully. I won't let betrayal dictate my future. The apartment felt quieter, yet somehow stronger. I realized that emotional fallout wasn't just about heartbreak. It was the start of a transformation. I could feel it in my bones. The pain was sharp, but it was also shaping me into someone wiser, someone more vigilant. I whispered to myself, I will control what I can. I will act when I am ready. I will not let them break me. I sat at my desk, a notebook open in front of me. Every detail from the last week was scribbled down, times, glances, conversations. I whispered to myself, I'll catch patterns, I'll notice everything. My phone buzzed. Liam's name flashed. Hey, how's the observation going? He asked. Slow, I admitted. They're careful. Olivia laughs at the right moments. Marcus plays it casual. But I can feel it. Small slips, contradictions. I'm piecing them together. Good, Liam said. Keep your emotions steady. You don't want to act out of anger yet. I know, I said, rubbing my temples. But every time I see them together, it burns. I want them to feel consequences, but I don't want to stoop to anything cruel. That's the dilemma. Then let karma do its work, Liam advised. Your role is observation. Nothing more for now. I nodded. I can do that. I can wait. I just need more clarity. At work the next day, I met Rachel while grabbing coffee. She smiled warmly. You look tense. Everything okay? I hesitated, then shook my head. I'm dealing with personal stuff. Betrayal, trust issues. I need advice without judgment. Rachel tilted her head. I can listen. I've seen people go through messy relationships. Sometimes talking helps you sort the emotions. I don't just need to talk. I need strategy, I admitted. I want to regain control, but I also want to make sure I act wisely. I can't let anger dictate my choices. She nodded thoughtfully. You're smart to think like that. Control is your power. Revenge rarely gives satisfaction if it's done impulsively. Observation and patience can give clarity and confidence. We sat down with coffee, and I explained what happened. The ring, the subtle glances, the inconsistencies. She listened, asking questions that made me consider details I hadn't noticed. So you're saying you need proof, but you're also rebuilding your life while you wait. Yes, I said. I realized I've neglected myself. Work, friendships, hobbies. I need to reclaim my life, or I'll let them control my emotions forever. Rachel smiled. Then start with small victories. Take back routines, accomplish little things, feel in control. Observation comes easier when your mind isn't consumed by anger. I felt a flicker of hope. Exactly. I want to feel empowered, not just bitter. But I also want them to face consequences naturally. Not cruelty, but truth catching up with them. Then document everything carefully, she said. Patterns, actions, reactions. Karma often works when you step aside and let things unfold. Back at my apartment, I returned to my notebook. I reviewed every interaction from the weekend, marking inconsistencies, noting smiles, body language, and conversations. I'll see the truth, I whispered, and I'll let it unfold without my hand forcing it. Liam called again that evening. Any progress? He asked. Yes, I said. I've noticed Marcus avoids certain topics when Olivia is around, and Olivia sends subtle texts after seeing him. Nothing definitive, but enough to confirm something is off. I'm watching, and I'm documenting. But I'm also focusing on myself. I've started jogging again, even joined a photography class. Liam chuckled. See? That's progress. You're regaining control while gathering information. Smart move. I can't let them know I'm onto them, I said. That would ruin my plan and alert them. Silence is key. And small victories at home and work help me regain confidence. I like that, Liam said. Observation plus self-empowerment. You're in control. The following days, I noticed more subtle moments. Olivia would smile at Marcus's jokes when she thought I wasn't looking. Marcus would shift uncomfortably if I walked into the room unexpectedly. I recorded them, but I didn't react. My emotions were still raw, but my actions were deliberate. Rachel called me one evening. How are you holding up? Better, I admitted. I'm reclaiming parts of my life. Documenting behaviors. Observing. I feel stronger already. But I also want them to experience natural consequences for dishonesty and betrayal. Then continue what you're doing. Don't rush it. Trust your instincts, but don't let revenge blind you. You're doing the hard work, emotionally and strategically. Her words gave me clarity. I realized that power wasn't about confronting them aggressively. It was about patience, awareness, and reclaiming my own life. That was the true retribution: silence, control, and observation while they exposed themselves. I looked at my notebook again, smiling faintly. Small victories, clear mind, careful observation. That's my plan. I'll regain control, and when the truth comes out, they'll face it naturally. I won't need to push them. Karma will take its course. I closed the notebook and stretched. The tension in my shoulders eased slightly. I had allies in Liam and Rachel, a strategy in motion, and a renewed sense of agency. For the first time since discovering the ring, I felt like I was moving forward, not just reacting. I whispered to myself, I am in control. I will watch, I will wait, and I will rebuild. My life is mine again, and the truth will reveal itself in time. I watched from my apartment window as Olivia's laughter carried across the park, but this time, it didn't feel the same. Something had shifted. Her charm, once effortless, now seemed forced, and Marcus's confident smile appeared strained. I knew something was coming. My phone buzzed. Daniel, my cousin, was calling. Hey, I answered cautiously. Liam told me what's been going on, Daniel said quietly. I thought you might want some insight. Family history might explain a lot. I leaned back in my chair. I could use that. I feel like I'm seeing only fragments of the truth. There's a pattern in our family, he said. Secrets, hidden alliances, things passed down silently. Marcus isn't the first to act like he's untouchable. You're seeing a repeat of past mistakes. I ran a hand through my hair. So you're saying this isn't just personal betrayal. It's history repeating itself. Exactly, Daniel said. The difference is, you're aware and you're documenting. That gives you control. I glanced at my notebook, where I had been noting everything for weeks. I've watched them closely, and now it feels like the world around them is starting to shift. Small things, missteps, lies exposed, people noticing inconsistencies. It's like they're unraveling naturally. Daniel chuckled softly. That's karma in motion. Not because you pushed it, but because truth always surfaces. It's satisfying to watch, isn't it? I nodded, a tight smile forming. It is. I don't have to act aggressively. I just observe and wait. And it's working. People are questioning them. Their friends are noticing things they thought were invisible, and they can't control it. Good, Daniel said. Keep documenting. It's as much for you as it is for them. Your emotions, your growth, your clarity, they matter. I leaned back, thinking about the last few weeks. My heartbreak had hardened into patience, my confusion into focus. I remembered nights spent questioning my judgment, my trust, my own naivety. Now, seeing consequences unfold naturally gave me a sense of justice without cruelty. Later that evening, I attended a small gathering with friends. Olivia and Marcus were there, trying to appear carefree. I noticed Olivia attempting to impress a group with an exaggerated story, but someone contradicted her casually. I saw the flush rise to her cheeks, and Marcus quickly interjected, trying to cover. I stayed silent, documenting it later in my notebook. Note: Olivia defensive, Marcus controlling narrative, audience doubts credibility. I whispered to myself. Daniel had told me to stay calm and detached. I remembered his words as I watched them stumble through explanations, their charm faltering. My satisfaction wasn't malicious. It was the quiet acknowledgement that actions have consequences, and lies are fragile. Liam later called. Are you seeing it too? Yes, I said, my voice calm. I'm observing without intervening. They're exposing themselves. I can see patterns, mistakes, and inconsistencies piling up naturally. No confrontation necessary. That's what I like to hear, Liam said. You're gaining control while they lose theirs. Stay patient. I nodded, looking around the room at friends laughing and chatting. The atmosphere felt lighter than it had in weeks. I realized my focus had shifted. I wasn't consumed by anger anymore. I was empowered, clear-minded, and cautious. Then, Daniel appeared in person the next day. I wanted to see firsthand, he said. You've done well keeping calm and observing. That's your strength. Thanks, I said. It's been hard. I keep replaying moments, remembering their smiles, gestures, everything I misread. But now I feel different. I'm not waiting for revenge. I'm waiting for truth to surface. He nodded. That's wisdom. The past informs you, but it doesn't control you. The consequences they face are the result of their actions, not your manipulation. That's what makes it just. We spent hours talking about family, history, and previous betrayals that had been kept quiet. Daniel's insights gave me perspective. You're part of a long line of careful observers, he said. You're learning to navigate trust, deception, and morality in a way that protects you. I thought about Olivia and Marcus, their faltering confidence, and the small but undeniable cracks in their social standing. I felt a sense of moral satisfaction, a quiet joy in seeing natural justice unfold without interference. By evening, I returned home and reviewed my notes. Every interaction, every slip, every reaction was carefully documented. My emotions were calmer, my strategy clear. I had regained agency in my life, watching others' consequences without losing myself. I whispered to myself, this is what it means to be patient. Karma works, and I don't have to intervene. I can rebuild my life while they face the results of their actions. The satisfaction wasn't about vengeance. It was about clarity, control, and growth. I had moved from heartbreak to empowerment, from confusion to focus. Watching the consequences unfold naturally reinforced my resolve. I looked out the window again, the city lights reflecting on my notebook. I am stronger now, I said quietly. I am patient, I am observant, and I am in control. Karma is in motion, and I am ready for whatever comes next. I woke up to a quiet morning, sunlight spilling across the floor. For the first time in weeks, my mind didn't race with suspicion or anger. I sipped my coffee slowly, thinking about everything that had happened. Olivia, Marcus, the betrayal, the heartbreak, and the silent observation that had brought clarity. My phone buzzed. Liam was calling. Morning, he said cheerfully. How are you holding up? I smiled faintly. Better. Calmer. I'm seeing things clearly now. Watching them, documenting, waiting, it changed something inside me. I feel stronger. That's what I wanted to hear, he said. It's amazing how patience and observation can shift perspective. You've come a long way. I couldn't have done it alone, I admitted. You were there, listening, guiding me when I felt lost. Rachel helped too. She reminded me that regaining control over my life matters more than vengeance. She sounds like a good ally, Liam said. And she's right. You've built your life while they faced consequences naturally. That's real empowerment. I leaned back, thinking about the past months. I remember the night I found the ring. My chest felt like it was being crushed. I questioned everything I knew, every memory I thought was innocent. I wanted revenge, but I also wanted clarity. I didn't realize that clarity itself would heal me. Daniel called later that day. I heard you've been observing the consequences unfold, he said. How are you handling it emotionally? I'm at peace, surprisingly, I said. It's strange. Watching them falter naturally gave me satisfaction, but not because I wanted to hurt them. I just understood the importance of truth and accountability. That's wisdom, Daniel said. Most people act impulsively. You observed, reflected, and grew. That's rare. Family patterns might repeat, but you're breaking the cycle. I smiled faintly. I finally realized that self-respect and personal growth matter more than anger. I can control myself, my reactions, and my life. The rest is consequences they create themselves. Daniel chuckled. Exactly. That's power without cruelty. Later, I met Rachel for coffee. You look different, she said warmly. Calmer. Stronger. I feel it, I admitted. I've been reclaiming my life. Work, hobbies, routines. Observing them exposed their mistakes naturally, but it also reminded me that my energy is mine. I don't have to waste it on anger anymore. That's the real transformation, she said. You've grown emotionally while they face karma. That's rare and valuable. I nodded. I realized I can rebuild relationships that matter, friendships with you and Liam, family ties with Daniel. They provide support without hidden motives. That's more meaningful than any confrontation. Rachel smiled. You deserve that clarity and peace. And you've earned it. You didn't stoop to cruelty. You stayed patient, aware, and self-aware. That's empowering. I paused, thinking about Olivia and Marcus. I didn't feel anger now, just a quiet acknowledgement that their choices had consequences. I don't hate them, I admitted. I don't trust them, but I don't hate them. I feel free from the weight of betrayal. That's the best feeling, Rachel said. You're no longer their victim. You're in control of your emotions and your life. That evening, I reflected in my apartment. Memories of past dinners, laughter, and trust flickered in my mind, now tinged with clarity rather than pain. I remembered how fragile trust can be, how quickly things change, and how essential self-respect is. I called Liam. I wanted to thank you again. You helped me see things without letting my anger consume me. You reminded me to observe, plan, and grow. That's what friends are for, he said. You've earned peace by doing the hard work emotionally. That's more valuable than any revenge. I understand now, I said. Revenge never really satisfies. Clarity, self-growth, and rebuilding my life, that's real power. And I have to keep evolving. I can't let betrayal define me forever. Liam's voice softened. Exactly. The journey doesn't end. You keep growing. You keep learning. You keep living with awareness. I hung up and stared out the window, thinking about the city below. My apartment no longer felt like a place of isolation, but a space of reflection and empowerment. I had reclaimed control over my emotions, my routines, and my life. Days later, Daniel and I met for lunch. You've handled this remarkably well, he said. Family secrets, betrayals, observing consequences, it would have crushed most people. But you've grown. I've realized that understanding and patience are stronger than anger, I said. I can feel satisfaction without cruelty, empowerment without revenge. That's a lesson I'll carry forward. Daniel nodded. And you've strengthened family ties with awareness. You're breaking cycles and establishing your own path. That's powerful. I thought about the moments that led here, from heartbreak to suspicion, isolation to observation, despair to empowerment. I smiled quietly. I feel like a different person, but also like myself in a better way. I've seen betrayal, faced moral dilemmas, and emerged with clarity and control. That night, I texted Rachel and Liam, thanking them again for their support. They responded with warmth, and I felt connected rather than burdened. I realized that trust and respect are earned, not demanded, and that my emotional energy was my most valuable asset. I whispered to myself as I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. I am stronger. I am wiser. I am in control. Betrayal taught me patience. Heartbreak taught me self-respect. And observation taught me empowerment. I don't need revenge. I need growth. I need clarity. And I have it. The city lights reflected on my window, casting a quiet glow. I felt melancholic but satisfied, knowing that life moves forward, and I am equipped to navigate it with strength, awareness, and dignity. I had transformed pain into power, suspicion into insight, and heartbreak into clarity. I closed my eyes, letting the quiet wash over me. The journey had been painful, but it led to something stronger than I expected. I was no longer bound by anger, grief, or mistrust. I was free, empowered, and ready to embrace whatever came next in life. And for the first time in a long while, I smiled genuinely, knowing that my growth, self-respect, and emotional clarity mattered more than anything else.